All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Tonight, I titled the team call Time, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about longevity and kind of being in this for more of the long haul. How many of you guys happen to watch the video? It's okay if you didn't, that I put, because I tell you guys to unplug on Sundays, and I posted it on a Sunday. How many of you guys happen to watch the 8-minute video that I posted in the team page yesterday that was about customers? Jake did, Jelliet did. Are you guys the only two that saw that video? All right, well then you guys need to watch that video because it has poor quality because of my internet, but it was a really good video where I take you into the back of my Coach Online office and I show you my customer base, and I talk to you about how that's been developed over time. It's time plus Emerald rank plus hitting Success Club. And because I'm coming up on, I'm like a few days away, I'm like a week away. I'm like a week away from my 4-year anniversary as a coach. So because I've been in this business for 4 years, which is longer than any of you, I know that because you're all in my downline. Because I've been in here the longest of all of us. And I've been Emerald since early. I got to Emerald in a couple weeks. I have not always hit Success Club, but pretty close. And I strive for it every month. So because of Success Club, Emerald, and time, I have a customer base in my first business center, which is my biggest business center, of 880 customers. 880, and I go a little bit more into that in that little 8-minute video. I hope you can watch it. 880 customers in my first business center. Keep in mind I have a second CBC, and I have my husband, and he's Emerald. So those are not people that I know for the most part. Those are people that have been given to me as customer leads, and sometimes coach leads. So longevity in this business matters. I asked Kelly Amos today, I said, hey, go in your previous office view in your primary business center and tell me how many customer leads you've gotten. And she said 1,422 customers attached to her because she's been in this longer than me. She's my upline. Okay, so how many of you guys have read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy by wave of hands? Hi, Luke. That's like almost all of you. If you haven't read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, please put it on your must-read list. It's up there with GoPro as a business staple. It will be good for your business, your health, and your relationship or your marriage if you have a partner. It talks about how the little small behaviors are what changes the trajectory of all those things: your finances, your relationships, and your health. So let's assume most of us have read that and understand it and have internalized that as a concept, the compound effect in life, meaning lives are changed not by one grandiose gesture, they're changed by the small things. So when I see someone who is morbidly obese, I think to myself a couple of things, always. Like I always have these two congruent thoughts when I see someone who is morbidly obese. I think, first of all, I think that could be me. Like that could be me. I'm just a bunch of little tiny choices away from that person. In fact, in my very formative teen years, I started really struggling with food. And so I very much know when I see someone that's struggling to walk because of their obesity, I know that could be me. Like I really know that could be me. And I also think that is thousands upon thousands of really small choices every day. That's how that person is in that condition. It wasn't one choice one day. It's just a bunch of little ones. So let's talk about, because I think you would all agree with me about the concept of the compound effect. So let's talk about the compound effect and our business. And I want to share with you some of the ways, there's more than this, but some of the ways that the compound effect, how I'm seeing it 4 years into the business. One, my body and my health and my fitness. I can honestly say to you, some of you guys like Brian, like Jennifer Elliott, have known me, Dawn also, have known me since I became a coach. Like they've seen me, so they've seen what I've looked like. They know me. And so I'm sure they could attest, like the people that I see in my classes and my family and the people at my church could say, Ellen is in better shape than I've ever seen her. I know they would say that about me. It's the truth. So one of the ways I see the compound effect manifest itself in my life as it pertains to this business is my health is continuing to get better. And it's really exciting. I was a college athlete and I'm 41 now with gray hair and fine lines and stretch marks from 3 kids, and yet I'm in better shape now than I was as a college athlete. And that is in part largely due to the last 4 years and my kinship with this company and our products. Okay, another way that the compound effect has manifested itself with time, remember the theme of this call is time, is in my customer base. Like I already mentioned, 880 customers in my first business center. That's just time. That's just being Emerald for 4 years and trying really hard to hit Success Club every month. Also on that note, that customer base, on that note, because of my time and maturation so far with the company, I have more successful challengers, probably more than most of you guys. If I'm doing it right as a coach, I've been in it longer than all of you guys. So I have more success stories, more people's lives, more before and after pictures, more screenshots of people that have been like, I lost 10 pounds, I lost 5 pounds, my blood pressure's down, you know, I feel better than I ever have. Look at my before and after. So I have this compound effect of, I have an arsenal of transformation stories. Another way, my team size and my team volume. Those two are sort of, those go parallel with one another. So obviously with time and maturation, the size of our team will grow and our volume will grow. And in case you're brand new and you don't know, let me be the first to tell you that volume equals money. Volume equals money. If that's the first time you've heard it, that volume is money. Volume is money. Not rank. Not rank, not always, but volume. So your volume and your team will grow in time. And then I want to say another thing that's changed with the compound effect is, I would say I was struggling for the word. I don't have the right word. I'm going to say appeal, or no, the better word is credibility, and appeal. Like now for me, when I was maybe in some of your shoes and brand new or in it for a year or 2 years, I didn't have as much to offer and as much testimony to give as I do now. So now I can say to someone, look at my finances. Like, look at the transformation of what I used to look like 4 years ago compared to now. And look at the size of my team now compared, like I have like proof that this works. And that's something that you'll get more of in time. And the more you get and develop proof that your income is changing, you're able to pay something off, you're able to take a vacation, you're able to buy something special for your kid, you're able to afford groceries, whatever it is, you've lost weight, the more proof you have, the better you're gonna be and more passionate and more believable in presenting the business. So now my ability to present the business is seeing the effect of the compound effect as well. So all that has to do with time. So if we believe, which we do as a team, if we believe in the compound effect, and we do, right? So we see that with network marketing and life in general. We believe in that. And we believe that our products work. And I think we would all agree that we believe if someone works hard at one of our home workouts and drinks a shake instead of going to coffee and getting a Frappuccino every day, that they're going to have extreme health transformation. We believe that. We believe our products work. So if we believe those two things, you guys, why do we quit? Why do people quit? Like, this is a real question. You don't need to unmute yet, can later. If we believe, because coaches quit. I get those emails. Do you guys ever get those emails? A coach in your downline has canceled. So coaches do quit. And coaches succeed. Both happen. Both are realities. If we believe in the compound effect and we believe our products work, why would people quit? And I'm going to answer it for you. They either are not willing to do the work, or they didn't know they were going to have to work. Like, that's it, you guys. That's it. Like, drop the mic right there. End of team call. Not really. I have some more good stuff to say, but that's it. The only reason people would quit if they have the belief is they're not willing to do the work, or they just didn't even know that this was going to involve work. Because if they're honest with themselves, if I'm honest with myself, and I had to do this with myself, we kind of do hope for a get-rich-quick opportunity. And I was like really trying to put myself back in my shoes as an early coach. And I think I would have to say, if I'm really honest with myself, that I did kind of think, what if this is kind of like, what if I could strike it rich? Like, what if this is like, you know, kind of the lottery kind of a thing? I learned it wasn't. I learned you had to do the work, and then I was willing to do the work. So I think that in terms of people quitting and getting those emails, we just need to say, if you believe that it's in the compound effect and sticking it out for the long haul, being a lifer. When I look at my coaches, I'm like, who's a lifer? Who's a lifer? Who's a lifer? If we are a lifer and we know this works, why would we ever quit? And it is one of those two answers. Okay, so literally while I was like toying around with my outline for the team call this morning, I literally was listening to a podcast of Ask Gary Vee. So I want to just caveat and interrupt myself to say something off topic, but about podcast listening. If you guys subscribe to some good podcasts, and I know that you do, and if you don't, and everyone on this call I know for a fact does, but if you're listening to the replay and you don't listen to podcasts, it is so easy, you guys, to make that a habit. Like, this is what you need to do. This is what I had to do with it, because I used to think, okay, I need to have all this, like, I need to set aside time to really listen to a podcast and really take notes. And I found myself like not having the time, so I'd put it off. What I want us to do, if that's our hang up, is not finding the time. What I want us to do is make sure that your phone settings are set to Wi-Fi only, so that you're not killing your data. I don't want this to cost your phone bill a lot of money. I want your podcast to be free. I want you to just put them on all the time, even if you don't have time to listen. So like, put it on all the time. It's background. It's just like, you don't even have time. Don't even expect that you need to listen. You don't need to take notes. It's just on. It's just the backdrop of when you're cleaning your house or doing this or doing that. It's just on. And today I just had it on as backdrop. I wasn't even trying to listen. I just put on Ask Gary Vee, and I was like, I'm trying to write a call about the compound effect. And he said, he says this thing and it stopped. Like, all these little, when you do that, your brain will still grab little morsels, and that can change the course of your business. So my brain grabbed a morsel, and he said, someone was asking him a question, because it's the Ask Gary Vee show, about, you know, how do you build a supplemental income when you have a full-time job? And he's like, do the effing work, with like a million expletives. He's like, you work from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. You do the work. You just do the work. You just put the work in. That's how you do it. And that was while I was preparing for this call, and it was so fitting. So I guess I want to say, in just trying to get us to be brutally honest with ourselves tonight, are you, two things, like, this is rhetorical. I do want you to answer in your head. Are you willing to do work? And are you expecting that this will be work? It is work. Much of it is fun. I was thinking of Sandra, who's on the screen. She's next to me, but on my screen, but I don't know where she's on your screen, and Amy De La Cruz. They're both new coaches of mine. They're both new Emeralds. They're doing this little Emerald push right now, and they're both new, and they're both finding success right now as new coaches. It's relative. As new coaches, they're getting paychecks, and they're hitting Success Club. I think Sandra's about to earn a summit ticket. They're doing really well, but you know what? If you asked either of them, and I haven't had this conversation with either one of them, have not. If you ask either one of them, has it been work? They're both going to say yes. Sandra, has it been work? Have you had to work? Yeah, totally. I mean, I know they're having fun. Amy's like, this is so much fun, but it's work too. And it's sacrifices. Like you guys taking the time tonight is a sacrifice. Okay, so I want to just kind of give you a realistic set of expectations that is congruent with Eric Worre's Go Pro, with Holly Heyerman, who is our upline multi-millionaire. She's my upline's upline. And, you know, it took her 4 years to make a 6-figure annual income. That's really on the mark. And she built that working an hour or two a day. Focused, diligent work, not just like chasing, like scrolling Facebook, pretending to yourself that you're working, but like actually working. And she built a 6-figure income on the side in that amount of time, and that is realistic. 5 to 7 years, and the idea is, again, if you listen to her on our coffee talks, you'll hear her talk about this. The idea is that you put a lot of time in up front and you don't make much money, but then in time you start to make more money and work less time. Incidentally, did you guys see that Emily is in Hawaii, one of my star diamonds? She's in Hawaii right now, and she's like getting successful points, and she's enrolling coaches, but meanwhile she's like kicking it at the pool. It's the compound effect. It's what this business can offer up to us in the long haul. It's not going to happen to you guys this week. So, or right away is what I mean. So, I wanted to be realistic and honest and say, yes, it's doable. Yes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of being consistent and working hard. And it doesn't take a certain type of person. If you study the top coaches, you'll see that we are all different. I'm like like I am one now. But they're all different. We're all different. Ages, shapes, sizes, background, all of it. Education, all of it. It's different. So you don't have to fit a certain mold. You just have to do the time, Okay. So similarly, in our pods, if you don't know what a pod is, and I'm going to wrap up really soon. I'm going to end this on time and open it up for questions. In our pods, a pod is like a pea pod. I got the idea from my corporate regional sales team manager, Brittany Adamson, to run pods. They're private Facebook message threads. Some of you, Dawn, some of you, Tracy, Adele, you guys have been in them from the beginning. Thank you. You guys are from day one. You do them every month. And they're basically messages. And you guys know how in Facebook Messenger, as soon as someone writes in there, it'll come up to the top. It'll like rise to the top of your message box. So there's like 5 people in each pod. And I'm in each pod too, just to kind of observe and to kind of like pipe in a little bit. But it's little accountability groups of our coaches that are trying to hit Success Club. And honestly, there's only about 20 of the entire downline that enroll for that every month. And every month I mix it up so you're working with new blood, new people, new personalities, new ideas. And there's only, like I said, 750 coaches on the team. 20 people are pushing for Success Club and enrolling in these pods. That wasn't a guilt trip. Sorry if it sounded like it. But at the end of these pods, at the end of the month, like right now, as the pod is closing, because I'm going to start new ones, I tend to find myself saying something similar each month in most of the pods, which is, so I'm at Success Club 13. And I tend to want to say almost like apologetically, that's kind of too strong of a word, but like I kind of want to say, hey guys, because they're struggling at 4 points, you know, struggling to get that last point right now kind of a thing, you know. And I'm like, hey guys, my Success Club points are from what I did a year ago. like I swear they're from what I did a year ago. Like I'm enrolling coaches and I'm getting new customers that are people that I met and started conversations with a year ago. So hang in there. Like it's the compound effect. What you're doing right now, thank you for being in this pod and thank you for pushing, but I'm really helping you invest into 2017 right now. I'm helping you guys invest into May and June and July of next year. And that's why I'm doing these pods with you. Yes, I want you to hit Success Club now, but it's hard. So like really only a couple of my points usually come from new contacts if I'm lucky. So it's like, it's the consistency, it's time again. So something I came up with for this team call is 4 things, and if you're a note taker, this would be the one thing I'd want you to write down. 4 things that if I want us to have and want myself to have and want you guys to have, it would be these 4 things. Because I'm assuming there's no discount coaches on this call. I love discount coaches. I've got them. I love them. I hope you have them. They're wonderful, but they're not going to be on this call, so I don't need to dance around like being too pushy because you care or you wouldn't be here. So you guys are the ones that care. So here's the 4 things I want us to have. 1, desire, like the desire to be successful, the desire not to be mediocre. You guys don't need to settle for being mediocre. You should listen to the national wake-up call and just let this little tiny piece of you think, I could lead that someday. I could do that. So the desire and the belief and this like, because it's uphill to think this way, but like, you don't need to be a mediocre coach. We don't have to be. But we tend to think, oh, Lindsay said it so well on the Diamond panel. I love what Lindsay Christensen said about like, we tell ourselves we have a $140 business when we have $1 million business because of like self-doubt. Okay, so desire and belief is number 2. Belief, like almost a blind faith. Like if you guys aren't making the kind of income you want right now, or you haven't had the kind of physical transformation you want to have had right by now, it takes some faith and some belief in your upline, me, the company, Carl Deichler. It takes some faith and lack of cynicism. So desire, belief. Number 3, and I stole this from Gary Vee from his audio book that I just am plowing through and loving, self-awareness. He's like, if I could bottle one thing up and give it to people, it would be self-awareness. And that's really caused me to pause a lot and ponder what that means. And I really think that when we have that is magic, having self-awareness. Like, I know our team is a bunch of sweet people. I know you guys are. I know the heart of this team. And because of the way we are, we worry collectively about being icky and salesy and pushy. But if you're self-aware, you know how you're coming across, you have empathy, you have EQ, you're not going to be. You're not going to be. So that self-awareness, when to listen, when to talk. And then number 4, intestinal fortitude. Intestinal fortitude. So desire, belief, self-awareness, and intestinal fortitude. And I say that because you're going to get 1,000,000 no's and no thank yous, and I can't afford it, and it's too much money, and it's just not for me right now, and it's a pyramid scheme, and you're gonna get 1,000,000 of those, and if you don't develop kind of a thick skin and just an understanding that they will probably come around. They will probably come around, and if you're self-aware, you're not gonna lose a friendship over it, even if they don't come around. So that kind of intestinal fortitude, because without those 4 things, you guys, this is just from me. I came up with those 4 things. I don't think you'll stick it out. I think it takes those 4 things. Okay, so let me close with, not ready to close yet. Give me 5 more minutes. I was gonna say that I know some people that want weight loss to the point of tears down their face, whether they're disgusted with themselves or they're shameful or they're depressed. They want it so bad, but they're not willing to do the work. And the same is true of our business. The same is true. there have been coaches that I've spent time with that want this to the point of literally tears, but then aren't doing the work. So it goes back to that first rhetorical question that I asked you guys. So I loved this. This might have been too long ago for some of you that are newer, but Summer Tucker led a national wake-up call a while back, and she really compared our business to a garden, and I love that. And I drew that analogy out a little bit further in my mind today. So I want you to think about, and you can take notes if you want. Okay, so think about in the garden, you have sun for growing things, the sun, water, soil, and seeds. That soil and seeds, let's put together, and then fertilizer. So I was thinking about this, like, let's just use those as our 4 vital behaviors loosely. So let's just pretend, by way of analogy, that the sunshine shining on your garden, that the sunshine is you being proof that the product works. Proof, number 1. Let's pretend that water that your garden is going to need to grow anything is personal development. Okay, water is PD. And your soil is your, I wrote a bunch of things under this one. It's your ACL, which I talk about all the time now. It's your active candidate list. It's what Eric Worre says. You have to keep growing your network. You have to keep adding new blood, new people into your life. Otherwise, you don't have seeds anymore. You don't have any seeds to put in the soil. And then finally, fertilizer would be like recognition. Okay? That's your 4th, that's our new vital behavior, recognition. So, all right, with that analogy, what if you had a garden that you wanted to grow? You want to grow this business. You want it really bad. You've got tears down your face. You want it. You're in it. What if there was no sun? Or there wasn't much sun. There was just a little bit of sun. That would be like proof that the products work. A story, a testimony, something about how our products have changed you. It would be like trying to grow that garden without a sun or without much sun. Okay? What if you had no water? That's not going to grow. Nothing's going to grow. That would be like trying to do this without ever working on yourself, heart, mind, and soul, your personal development. What if you didn't have any seeds? You didn't have any seeds. You didn't have any active candidate list. You didn't have a network. You didn't have people. You didn't have any people. And then what if you didn't have any fertilizer? Okay, so you can see where I'm going with this analogy. So I'm going to close with this. And if it wasn't corny, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to ask you to close your eyes, but I really want you to be that focused in your head right now that you're pretending to close your eyes. Okay, imagine that you are your best you today. Just imagine. And I know life is a journey and we're always growing and all of that, but imagine that for you right now, you're feeling like you're your best self. Whether and all the ways that can manifest itself. Maybe it's you're sleeping better, you feel like you're looking better, maybe it's your blood pressure is down, maybe your autoimmune disease is at bay, maybe you're no longer pre-diabetic, maybe you have some new biceps that are bulging out, maybe you have a higher libido now, maybe you're more regular and not bloated, maybe you're more confident, and then who you are on the inside is growing. This is going to be another rhetorical question, so hey, bear with me. Who you are, whatever PD you're working on for you, like maybe you know more about nutrition now than you ever have because your PD focuses on nutrition. Maybe you're slower, maybe you stopped gossiping. Maybe you are less easily angered than you used to be because you're working on yourself and you're reading good stuff and listening to good audio. Maybe you've become a stronger leader around the workplace. Like there's things on the inside of you that people are starting to notice have changed. Okay, now imagine that you're kind of showing those things well. You're communicating them. With self-awareness, people are seeing these changes in you. So if all those things Would you have trouble helping 3 people every month? So probably, and I'm hoping you're with me, and I am going to close here in the next couple minutes, probably you're thinking, no, I wouldn't. If I was all those things, if I was everything you just said, Ellen, no, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would not have trouble helping 3 people if I was everything you just said. So then I would ask you tonight, your call to action, the takeaway, so that I'm not wasting your time tonight. What I want you to take away from this call with you tonight is this. If you're like, yeah, you're right, but I don't know enough people. Like, fair enough. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have a big network and you're new, or you're not new, and you don't have enough people. You don't know enough people. Fair enough. That's totally valid. So that's not having enough seeds in my garden analogy. So that's what you need to work on. You need to walk away from tonight and say, I need to be more deliberate about adding more people into my network. Maybe you're like, yes, I would be able to help 3 people a month if all those things, but I'm too shy. I'm too shy to share it. I'm not communicating it. I'm not letting people know about all these things that are changing in me. Fair enough, like completely plausible. So maybe that's what you need to work on, is being a little more bold or working on ways to put it out there more. Maybe you're not proud of your health. Maybe you're like, yeah, I agree, but I haven't had the physical, I don't have a testimony with our products. I just don't. I'm just not doing the programs, or I'm not doing my shake every day. Then that's what you need to work on, is getting that testimony. Okay, so in closing, I want to just say that I feel like I was kind of heavy-handed tonight. I really didn't mean to be. I was just excited about this topic. I know what this business can do with time, and I know it works, and I know it works for all different kinds of people and can work for you. So there's magic in sticking with it, and all those things that I talked about tonight. So that's all I have for you. You're more than welcome to open it up to questions. Kelly's on, so you can pick her brain too, because we've got her. She's my upline, so she's been in this longer than I've been in it. So you've got her brain to pick as well.
Ellen, I just want to, that was such an awesome call, first of all. I mean, I was on my phone first, and it was, I mean, it just, every single thing that she said just totally hit a nerve, and you had a brilliant way of articulating it, and I mean, it's just so true. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what, I mean, when you got into this, whatever, we're going to feel those things. We're going to feel those things. And I have a coach, and this is just tagging on the last thing that you said. I have a new coach, and she's 26 years old. She was a swimmer in college. And she just recently moved here, and she started coming to my classes, and we just kind of hooked up, and she was just super shy. And she said the first day she was hoping that I wouldn't come up to her because she didn't want to talk. And she was forcing herself yet to go to group fitness classes so that she would meet people. So she's just totally this introvert. She did do training with me, but she said, Kelly, I just don't, I mean, she ran a challenge group with a friend and her boyfriend's mom. And she didn't want to put stuff out there. She wasn't comfortable. She didn't have very many friends on Facebook. And again, she's just totally holding herself back and has no confidence in herself. And we host I live in Coeur d'Alene, and we host Ironman. And this year, for the first time, we hosted the half Ironman. And she was really excited because she was asked to be on a team. And she was the swimmer. And she, about a month ago, said, I'm just not going to do the Beachbody thing. I just feel like I can't, it's just not me. I don't feel like I have anything to offer people. And I totally understand that. I mean, I do. You need to make the decision yourself. She posted on Facebook yesterday, totally going to make me cry, because she was the first, she's overall top swimmer overall in the half Ironman. No, this doesn't include the pros, but she was overall the top swimmer, first out of the water, best time. And the first thing I thought was, thank God, now she's got some confidence. Because she sees that she has, and people are going to, she was okay with saying that. She was okay with posting, I was first out of the water, which is, she would never post, I'm a Beachbody coach and I want to help you. But she had this confidence that, and this strength and this power and this discipline that got her to be such a good swimmer, that she had no idea that this thing in her life that she had done made her something that she should share with people. And that's what this is every single one of us has something in our life, and you may see it as ugly and bad, or you may see it, not see how beautiful it is and how special it is. And that's what we're about. That's what we're about. And you decided to do this, and you got to grow, you got to learn, you got to see. As you do more, you will see more of what you can offer. And I just want to comment also on and compliment you guys on being so engaging in your team. And you are unique, you are special, you have a leader that is drawing out the best in you, and you have to see that, and you have to pay it forward. And you guys are just, you're amazing. You're amazing as one, but you're more amazing together. Sorry, I took so much time.
No, thank you. Made me cry. But you guys really are amazing. We are special. There's a couple of people that are not directly part of the team, like Karen McDonald, and a couple success partners I've had, and people that observe us on the outside that are just like, gosh, you guys have something so special going on. It's easy to take for granted. I take it for granted sometimes. So anyway, I guess I just wanted to give you, like, I think it's just really easy to think that, to want to think, just like we do with our fitness, that as much as we say it's not get rich quick and it's not get, fit quick, I think there's this like part of us, all of us, myself too, that wants it to be. And so I guess tonight I just wanted to come at us as a team with it's work too. It's work too, and if you do the work, you'll reap, the garden will grow. And it's not going to grow tomorrow, but it's going to grow, and in 4 years you'll be in a totally different place. You cannot even imagine what the compound effect will do in 4 years, in even 2 years, if you give this an hour of diligent, focused work every day, sometimes work that you don't want to do. So, all right, I am going to stop the recording.